Well, hello and welcome to the Chief Multi-Hat stream. I'm your host, Chief Multi-Hat. Thank you for being here. Apologize for being a little bit late on my schedule. Gotta do the old after-work shower, you know. Even though I do work at home, I'd like to be able to do that. Dungeons of Treptera development. Yay. I'm going to continue to working on this and sharing my dev pain, as it were. Hopefully, the mic is working well. Mic does look like it's a little bit quiet. I'll see here. For some reason. Just the mic. There we go. Alright, try to do some activities here. Hope that your day has gone well. Mine has. Got some work done, which is always good. Always good to get some work done. And now I'm doing my hobby work. Which is okay. Certainly is. So, yeah. I'm gonna do some adverts here. You'd think I would, at some point, get some automation going. But, you know, we like it manual as much as possible. Little Discord announcements. Hey, I'm streaming. Come watch the Scuff streamer. It'll be great. Whoops. Yep, Scuff. Need to get back and do multi-days. Is this going to work? See if this works. Oh, nice. It does work. Perfection. Alright, let's find a few other places to do this in. Certainly. I am off screen. I mean, you see me, but I don't see you if you happen to be here. In all likelihood, I am talking to myself, but that's okay. If not, I'll be with you shortly. Good times. Just plastering all over the place. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. One more spot, maybe. Nice. All right, I'm back. Sort of. Doing the old green screen today instead of the blue screen. Mixed up a little bit. Get my grapefruit-based soda. Water later. What are we looking at today? Well, this is one of my slime monsters. So I'm going to try to avoid an overheat. GPU likes to overheat because it's an ancient 1050. So if I try to play my game for too long and stream at the same time, everything goes blip and I have to restart the stream. We'll see how things go. So essentially, little stuff I'm doing would be to get the old. Where is it? Where is my camera? Ta-da! It's compiling. Restore successful. We should have a game here shortly. Maybe. There we go. Startup screen. Right, I'm using the D-pad on my controller. I am getting some delays. Right, so here's what I'm working on. Let's go to Guild Hall. Change the music around because I thought it'd be more appropriate with this kind of music. We'll see how it goes. Now, here, so when you create like a new party, for example, I'm have the controller-based keyboard installed. Well, actually, I had to make that. And I kind of made it convoluted, and I'm trying to simplify the connections a little bit with that. So what does that mean? Well, when you hit the A button or the select, it goes right immediate into the create a new party name, and then you could then move your cursor over here and move around and basically type in by pointing to it. And say if I use like a Y, that'll automatically capitalize it. And then otherwise it's lowercase, for example. And then you could either go here and hit enter, cancel, or you could hit the select button on the controller. Now you have your party name. And then with that, you can clear it out and change it. So essentially what I've been working on is, used to be, when you first go into the party name, oh, I need to reset that. There we go. That's not a problem. That's a problem. It would then wait for the keyboard input, and if you use your mouse, well, not your mouse, but your controller pad, D-pad buttons, it would move over to the key display. But it would wait for you to do that first, and I wanted to just immediately go over there because it also looks for a keyboard input. So if I were to hit backspace on the keyboard, first of all, I gotta select the program. Yep, see, so you could just type in like so, and then that will capture your information as well. So yeah, I've been kind of working on that detail. And then on the recruiting adventures, getting that reinstalled into this game. Now this is a MonoGame platform, so it's a C#. It's the old XNA Microsoft game developer platform that was decommissioned, I guess. They stopped doing anything with it. Microsoft did. It got purchased back up into a nonprofit group. I believe the members of that group have been members who used to work on this at Microsoft. And now they are maintaining it and bringing it up to the level where it's at now. Modern, and using .NET, I think 10 at this point, which is kind of cool. The MonoGame is it gives you access to 2D, 3D space capability, textures and such, but it's very bare bones. I mean, it's very programmer forward. So I do know C#, and so with this, it allows me to go in and create, direct control of the screen and all the aspects, which also means you need to come up with the concepts of a scene, like in Godot and Unity and other game engine systems. They have kind of a standardized, system where you paint a scene or you have nodes, and you work within that system. Well, here with MonoGame, straight, you would build out your own versions of that. And I kind of went with that a little bit, just to kind of visually, logically put together the coding to make moving through screens easier. And then you get to take advantage of object-oriented programming to reduce your repeating of code, but a little bit of that back and forth. Yeah, but mainly, like for example, if I were to go into here, I'd have to come up my own way. How do you scroll text? Well, you got to build it from scratch. So, all right, but then you got to then extract that out and build it and put it into a class, or basically a container that allows you to then port that over to other parts of your code. Oh, I need scrolling text here. Fine, set it up. Get over there. And it's not like cut and paste code. It's a little more computer sciencey. And at this example, this one has you can scroll it, but this has more of a magnified scroll through. You can hold down your scroll button. That's a D-pad on your controller that controls this up and down. Yeah, text information. And then later on in the battle system, you're going to have your scrolling action text that tells you, okay, here's what happened in the battle. That will definitely, that's what you have there. So that'll work very nice, hopefully. Are we dropping frames? Oh, it looks good so far. Check the old computer temperature. Not burning my hand off. That's good, good. Alright, so do more sanity checks here. So yeah, if you click on fighter, for example, you want to re-roll your fighter, you can do that now. Re-roll the old stats. Want to rename it? Let's see, let's make this fighter name Don. And enter. As such. Now, I don't actually have you move into the party or anything like that yet, but that's coming up to be hooked up later. Accept means you're going to accept this fighter, and now it's going to be put into your general roster. Otherwise, you can dismiss it. And right now, when this game was originally put together in a website, meaning it's going to be a web server, and the game runs as a server, and then uses your browser as a visual client. There's no game code, or it doesn't actually run in the browser per se. It's all on the server. The way you would gain adventurers is that every 2.5 minutes from visiting the guild hall, a random fighter, cleric, thief, or mage would pop up, and then you get to decide, okay, do I want to train? And you get to make a decision. Eventually, you'd have like a rare chance of having the more advanced classes pop up. Now, as you play the game, the idea would be to unlock abilities. Either you find artifacts to get a sage, you destroy some very evil creatures, and paladins start having interest in coming in and helping you, and so forth. And some, you can kind of understand what they do by reading the Adventure Guidance Center, and they kind of go through your iconic classes, and then, but you can play the game and defeat the game in the iconic classes. It's just a flavor of play, a little bit easier on some things. I'm probably going to have some areas that would probably require some of the advanced classes to complete sanely. And those areas there would be also to, make it fun for those other characters. But yeah, you could do that. Is the plan anyway. So essentially, we're going to have, like the advanced classes, a sage is basically an artifact user, and a disenchanting. A wizard is going to be more of a charming, summon creatures, convert creatures over, control them that way. A minstrel is basically your bard, and then your ninja, of course, is your martial arts assassin type, and then a paladin. And then you have your wilder, which is kind of a cross between ranger and barbarian. Now, more like ranger, more like druid barbarian, or just, militaristic druid. So yeah, those are the advanced classes. Well, this has been fun, converting this over to an actual C# Windows game. This could be then, hopefully, deployed on Steam. We'll see how that goes. You can install it and run it, and such. I did another game called Virus Blasters. It's out on itch.io. I think I have a link on my page. Essentially, it's if you want to donate to it, it's great. But you can download it for free and play it, especially if you use the itch.io game, kind of like the Steam client, itch.io client. Just download the game through that, and installs it, and then it'll run. And it has, I think, about 18 levels. It's all kind of progressive. It's slowly goes through each level the more score you have. But it's alpha. I say it's alpha because really I need to finish up a good chunk of fair and fun levels, and then put in a level editor so you can create your own levels. And then that would be no longer alpha. It'd be just released and such. So yeah, that's out there. And I did that to really get a good feel for MonoGame. And it's basically a Space Invader type game where you scroll back and forth and shoot a antibody fireball toward cells or pathogens that fall down from the intercellular space. Essentially what that does is that allows you to fight them. I should play it to get an example. But this stream is going to be more on the dungeon crawler, Dungeon of Treptera development. So yeah, I do have some boring development today. I wouldn't say it's boring, but it is tedious. Can be. Especially when your host stops talking in codes and has difficulty describing what's on his mind, which is the whole point of streaming, is to kind of talk about what you're doing, and as much as fun as that would be. Well, trying to get better. All right. What do I need to do next? Probably should get some recording here. So yeah, the dungeon still. This, strangely enough, the first thing I did in this MonoGame framework was get the dungeon part working. Because hey, this is the most important part of the game. I'll have a manual music switch. Helps if I push the button. There we go. A little ambient music. And yeah, essentially, this is your dungeon. Now, the way the characters look across the screen and things like that, that's probably going to be redesigned a little bit and such. I'm just I'm experimenting with it still, trying to get a good feel for it. But essentially, this is your dungeon, and you will move through the dungeon, go through your doors and such. Yeah, and at some point you come across a battle. I'll have to simulate the battle because I don't have it hooked up, but I do have. So like a battle simulation would be something like that, and I'll just give some fake music. That's not quite the right music, but that's okay. All right. So you hit your action button A, start it off. Basically, you have your group. Right now, it's just one group of free slimes. Give you a nice, good character portrait of the game, of the monster. And then this is your lineup. This is in order from front to back, top to bottom. You hit your select button, which is A. Fighter defaults to fighting, but you can give it an ability if you want to. And then you can just completely go backward if you want to by accident. Mm-hmm. Scuff. Still working on it. Alright. Why did that do that? Well, it looks like I introduced a bug in the game. That's wonderful. That's not supposed to happen. Well, I can't show it. Well, I kind of can. Right, so you select like a fighter fights. Bob the cleric will do a spell. You're gonna have up to 7 levels, and you can say like I want to have like armor 1 for party. Silver leaf. Belinda's gonna cast a spell. Say sweep on the white slimes. Silk is just going to do fighting, and Roxy's gonna parry down below. Parry. I'll hit X for the magic button to say, hey, let's fight. And this is what happens. It goes through. There were only 2 slate. So yeah. Roxy's him to the parry. Dreknar's short sword head sliced 3 times and harms white slime for 18. Destroying the white slime. And Silk Rapier does it. That's it. Everyone's dispatched. But it continues on with everyone's choices because it's still around. So yeah, Bob cast armor. Everyone gets armor buffs. So. And after that, you would have. Yeah. My back button is bleeding over from one screen I designed it for to another screen that I don't want that happening. I don't want it escaping back to the game, so I'll see how things go. Yeah. So yeah, we're just kind of working on the old game. Okay, that back button works. That back button works. And there we go. Stop the game. Get back some music. Right. So yeah, this is the C# game. Okay, well, you know what? We might as well go fix that other problem. That means we'll go over here. Hopefully the audio and the video is synced up. I had to do some testing on some recordings earlier, but it probably threw out of whack for a website. Let's see what happens here. Of course I will go do the old testing here. There's a little bit of delay with the video. Give it a little test, see how it works. And I'm going to do another test the voice a little bit. Apologize, I kind of want to make sure this works correctly. Yeah, it looks good. Okay, that checked out. That's good. Good, good. Encounter. I'm gonna look up the entry point where the game engine says, hey, I want you to do some calculations. So let me do that. It's called update. And there it is at the bottom. Up action. Alright, down action. B button action. Okay. Okay, so looking at the code, I'm also going to go to a dungeon scene, and we're going to go to abstracts. That's not going to work. Let's go to main instance, main entry. This is the parent object. It runs all the screens, and let's see if there is some game controller capture. Looking through here and just kind of get myself reacquainted with the code. Essentially what we're doing here is dungeon scene to enter. Okay. Oh, okay. Now the counter screen, what we do is we update, call the update on the counter. Counter B action. Up, down action, B action. Well, let's do a little what we call debugging here. Turn the music off. Maybe not. Start, go right to the dungeon. See? That's not supposed to happen. What's going on? This sucks. Oh, that is supposed to happen. Alright, let's do some. Alright, so A, B. Yeah, see, something else is capturing this, and that's not a good idea. That's not good. Oh, I think I know what it is too. Oh, that shouldn't happen. I think I have a scene stuck in memory. It shouldn't still be connected up because in the dungeon scene area here, no, main entry. Let's take a look at update. Yeah, that should happen. Let's go look at scene music update. Okay. Update to music, and then it does an update to that. F11. It goes into startup, which is what it should. Okay. Play. Start. It should go into F11, and that should be in the town, and it is. Okay. And let's go to the dungeon. Let's go to the encounter. Right, run the encounter. F11, encounter. And oh, I got 2 B buttons here. Immediately understand what's going on now. So, if you were to draw your attention to the screen, essentially, I have an if-then statement. What does that mean? If this, do that. Otherwise, do something else. Usually by default, just. So, if it detects a back action here, it just says go back to start. What I really want to have in here is escape key action. Go back to the start. Really, if I really want to be fun, I should do this. Explore screen. Change to explore. Alright, let's see what happens. There you go. The back button no longer goes. Yeah, see the back is supposed to go back a level. There we go. That's working right. Now if I hit escape, nothing happens. Escape. Escape. Why isn't that working? Interesting. Dungeon scene. Update. No, not dungeon scene. Let's just go to close out for now. Not have to start up either. Looking for the main entry. There we go. The first thing you should do is call. It does. See? Update. Bam. I hit F11 to go inside of it and take a look at what's happening here. Escape. Oh, see? Not to collect text input. There we go. Escape goes back. Back button. Okay, now if I hit start and I go into Guild Hall, Charters, create new party, in the party name, hit escape. Gets ignored, as it should. Yep. Alright, I can live with that. Yep. Do. So yeah. So yeah. Alrighty. Let's kind of get the charters going. Charter. Change the party name. Works. What to say? That's good. Yeah, and then I change it to bucket kickers. Good. All right, recruit. All right, there you go. So, essentially, be nice to have some party views going. All right, I think this is going to be a short stream. I certainly appreciate your time here. I'm going to be definitely streaming again this week, working on my schedule, and maybe a little bit later in the evening. We'll see how that goes. But for now, I thank you for letting me share a little bit what I'm doing here. I'll have some more development later this week, so I certainly appreciate it. Right, well, thank you so much for stopping by. Take a look at the VOD if you do, and hopefully we'll continue to make progress and have this game ready by the end of the summer or so. And we'll see how it goes. All right, well, thank you so much for being with me, and you have a great evening, afternoon, or morning, wherever you may be. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.